Hello and welcome back to the channel on our continuing voyage to become better blues players. My name's Mark, and in this lesson we're going to look at mixing major and minor in box position 3. This is often called the BB box because it's something BB King was quite fond of using. So this is actually the 13th in a series of lessons on blues improvisation, starting right at the beginning, never improvised before, going right through to advanced, where we can improvise in front of an audience on a full set for 2 hours, full gig. So that's the journey that we're on. First 8 lessons were called Learn to Improvise Blues, and they were kind of aimed at more beginner. We're into the intermediate stage now, which I've been calling Improve Your Improvisation. And this is mixing major and minor. So prior to this, we've looked at where A minor box position 3 is, and that's here. And we've looked at mixing major and minor in box position 1 and box position 2. Now we're going to bring all those concepts together. So if you haven't seen those videos already, I suggest you check them out, because otherwise some of this might not make too much sense. And you kind of need that grounding. Okay, so where are we? Well, we're in box position 3. And what we're going to do is, they're the minor notes. We're going to add in a couple of notes from the major pentatonic. So we're going to add in this note here, which is 12th fret of the B string. And we're going to add in this note here, which is 11th fret of the G string. And remember, our root note is here with our index finger, 10th fret of the B string. Okay. That's the kind of thing that we're going to be doing. So, interesting thing about this is that this note on the B string at 12th fret, if you bend that up a whole tone, you get a C sharp, which is also in the which is also a note in the major scale for A. Okay, which is a really sweet note to hit. That's like, that's the major third, so that's kind of like the essence of major. So yeah, we can bend that note up at the 12th fret on the B string. If we bend up the 12th fret of the top E string as well, that bend on the 12th fret of the top E string, that takes it up to a major 6 to F sharp, which is also in the A major pentatonic scale. So interesting thing is that those notes on the 12th fret, both on the B string and the top E string, you bend them up a whole tone, you get an extra major sounding note. Okay, so like we discussed in the previous lessons, sometimes you want to lean into the minor notes to sound more sour, more kind of dirty. Sometimes you want to lean into the major notes to sound more kind of sweet and, sweet major. And again, see those previous videos because of the rules around which chords. Basically, you can use the major sound and notes, you can lean into those when you're on the A chord, but when we're on the D or the E chord, we lean into the minor notes. Same rules apply, just that will happen to be in box position 3. So I often kind of would start major and end minor to kind of mix them together. So maybe something like this. So hopefully you could hear there, kind of starts sweet and major and then goes minor and dirty and bluesy to end. And you can kind of build those things in. So that's basically the notes. What I'll do in a moment is I'll play an improvisation over a backing track, and then we'll come back, have a little chat about it, and I'll leave you with the backing track so that you can practice this yourself. Okay, but if you're finding these lessons valuable and useful, then please consider leaving me a tip in my PayPal tip jar, or consider becoming a Patreon member as well. And the details of both of those things are in the description below, but that's what funds these lessons and keeps the lessons going. So what I'll do now is I'll kick the backing track on, I'll jam over it a couple of times around, then we'll come back and have a little chat about it. Okay? Okay, little improvisation there. So hopefully you could kind of hear and maybe see on the fretboard what I was doing, where I was going leaning into the major sounds when I'm on the A chord, when we're on the D or the E chord, leaning more into the minor sounds. So that's what I'd like you to do now. So I'll leave you with the backing track. I'll put twice around the backing track on the end of this video. The backing track will be a separate video on YouTube as well. Details in the description below to access that. Patreon supporters get an MP3 of that as well. For everybody else, it's a video on YouTube. Yeah, so play over the backing track, grab your guitar, give it a go. Let me know how you get on. You got the major sounds to lean into. You can lean into the minor sounds when you want it to sound more dirty. So I'll leave you at the backing track, and I'll come back next time and we'll look at some more intermediate improvisation tips. Okay, so here's the backing track. I hope you enjoy it.